Jericho. Well, this is the end of the three-part series that we have with Rahab, the crossing of the Jordan, and now the destruction of Jericho. This story starts off with Joshua going out and looking at Jericho, and there he sees a person holding a sword. To think about Joshua. He must have been a real hero, a real man of faith, because it says he walked towards him. Joshua doesn't know who this is. This could be a commander of a Canaanite army. And I mean, was he as armed as well as this fierce creature in front of him? Probably not. But it says he walked towards him and asked questions. Brave man. He asked the question, are you on our side or their side? Neither. Not on your side or their side. I'm the commander of the Lord's army. Boy, that should speak to us. we are so much into us and them. You on our side or their side? Us and them. Are you a Methodist or a Lutheran? Neither. I am the commander of the Lord's army. Are you a Democrat or Republican? Neither. I'm the commander of the Lord's army. Are you for the Jewish side or the Palestinian side? Neither. I am the commander of the Lord's army. And you go down the list of whatever groups you have. God is independent. You're on my side or you're not on my side, God says. If you conquer Jericho the way I say, you will have victory. But if you go to Ai and do it wrong, then you will be defeated. Something that we need to remember. Well, the scripture says that they encompassed the city, that's what they were supposed to do. Now, when you see movies about this, you see this huge city and people on the wall, and they see this little band of people walking around blowing horns. No, that's not how it was at all. There's about 2,000 or 3,000 people inside the city looking out at 600,000 warriors. It's a huge group out there. Matter of fact, I think when they came out of their encampment and marched towards Jericho, that when they got to Jericho and started circling the city, they were still coming out of the camp. I believe as they went around the city that they were still coming out, and finally when they got all the way around and were going back, I think people were still coming out. It was a huge army that was going around. And then on the seventh time, now this is a Walshite thing. This is, I have no proof of this at all. But when it says they were to go around 7 times, personally, I think the Ark of God went around 7 times. That as this huge army was coming out and the Ark went around, that there were still people coming out. And it went around a second time. I don't know how many times it went around till finally everybody was there. And when the Ark and Joshua went around 7 times, they stopped. And now they were 7 groups deep, totally circling that city, ready for what God was about to do. Well, now we get to the 2 walls. You have the outer wall, a space about 15 feet, and then the inner wall, all built on top of a rock foundation. In a normal army, this would be so impossible. Matter of fact, the thing they really needed was strong gates, which they had. They were set for a siege. It would be hard to get in that city. But the way God did it, when the walls came down, they collapsed down and fell outward, forming a ramp. Because it says that all around this city, the people marched straight in, which means there was a ramp in front of them all the way around the city. These 2 walls came down and they walked in. Now, how many people they killed? Well, we know that all of them were killed, but how many people were on the wall? And you think about this. These people marching around 7 times, it had to be a spectacular event in there. I'm sure everybody was on the walls watching this thing. And so when the walls came down, so many people were killed. right then. And so the army marched in and just burnt the city and kind of cleaned it up. We think about the catastrophe here, about that God wanted everyone killed. And we think, how could God do that? Well, when we see a tsunami and people are killed, or an earthquake, or a volcano, we know that the people are killed, but we don't think that God is unreasonable there. See, God is looking at this from eternity. He knows everyone's going to die. Actually, of Israel and the Canaanites, they all died, every one of them. Some died sooner than the others. But from God's perspective, this was such a small little piece of time that was the difference between the people at Jericho and the people of Israel, because they all died. The beauty of it, though, is out of that rubble, out of that destruction, walks a little family. Rahab and her parents, brothers and sisters, maybe some servants, come walking out. Their whole world had been destroyed. They were walking out, joining a new nation, a new faith, a new relationship, a new family. They got married here and became a part of the family. And out of this rubble comes a person that her descendants would be in the line of Christ. From her would come King David, and from her would come Jesus himself. That's the beauty of this story. We'll come back when we give you more insights on the story.